Going live. You're live.
We're live.
Woohoo. Hola, Unconventionals.
Hola, Unconventionals. Happy Saturday, June 4th. I cannot believe it is already June. JP, this year is flying by.
I know. It's crazy.
It is crazy. What are you doing?
I'm trying to make this chat window bigger, this like micro font. They must think that only 20-year-olds use YouTube. That is crazy. Look how small that font is.
It is very small.
Yeah, that's better. Is that too big now? I think that's good.
That is good.
Okay, I think we're good to go.
All right.
All right, before we talk about the matter at hand, people accuse me of making our thumbnail clickbait, Amelia. I prefer to call it legit bait because we've been getting so many questions about whether we're staying in Ecuador. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but
I don't know. Maybe because you put out that poll, JP.
Maybe the poll, or it could have been our last video comparing other countries. What did we talk about? Inflation?
Inflation, yep.
Yeah, it's nice that inflation is, we've noticed it's still pretty low here. We haven't really noticed a lot of price increases. I know there's been a little bit, around 3%, but.
And gas has gone up, but that doesn't impact us since we walk. But I think it impacts a lot of people who have the higher octane used cars. Yeah,
because the premium gas over 90 octane is like $4.69 a gallon, I think, which is pretty expensive here. Oh, look, somebody from Boquete, Warren.
Oh, cool.
Hola, Warren.
We have Boquete, we have Medellin, and we have New Braunfels. Okay, so Cara, New Braunfels, isn't that where the Schlitterbahn is?
Schlitterbahn? That sounds like a bad word, Amelia.
It's a big water park out in that area somewhere over by San Antonio. I went there a long time ago. It was really fun.
Schlitterbahn.
I know, it's fun to say too.
There's another Texas, San Marcos, New Hampshire. Wow.
Cuenca, Chicago.
Tennessee.
Oh, thank you, Copy Gal. My hair has definitely been a lot happier since I've left it alone for the past 2 years. No more dyeing.
Nebraska.
New Hampshire. Oh, you said that. Houston, Boca Raton, Michigan. Wow, it's going fast. Alaska.
Wow.
Miami. Love it. Quito.
There's a Canuck. Isn't that what Canadians are called? Canucks?
Yes. I didn't see that one. Oh, there. See, even you raised it up, and I'm still like, oh.
Yes, the Schlitterbahn. I don't know how to say it. I'm not sure if that's how to pronounce that word, so I'm just not going to.
I'm almost positive I pronounced it correctly.
That is crazy. That's a crazy word. Sounds very German, I guess.
It is German. Apparently,
Salinas.
There's a big German population in that area.
Mary Jane from Salinas.
Hola todos. Hola Unconventionals. We got people from all over. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully you all have had a nice start to your June. Nice week. We've been reading on the news that if you're traveling, that there was a lot of mayhem in the airports. So hopefully none of you encountered any of that craziness. We stayed home.
Yeah, we haven't traveled much, although we spent a couple weeks in Cuenca.
Yep.
You guys saw those videos. Evergreen.
Oh, sweet.
I used to work in Evergreen.
Ah, the memories.
Yeah, Colorado. Yeah, Cuenca was awesome. We spent a couple weeks there. We haven't seen our friends in Cuenca for 2 years, so it was really nice to be back there finally.
Yes. Yes, that was really fun. And boy, we really miss Cuenca, except it rained a lot. And somebody said they were posting from rainy Medellin, and it rained all day here yesterday, but today was beautiful, so no complaints. Overall, I don't think it's been as bad because I haven't been reading about as many landslides, so that is a good thing.
Yep. So let's see. Question: do you remember where you have seen CBD tincture for sale on the Central Coast? The Central Coast.
We ended up ordering it.
That was at the
Olón
Mercado.
Yeah.
They have that Mercado, the pop-up market in Olón on Saturdays, I think, or Sundays, and they sold some there.
And there is a couple stores in Montanita that would sell that.
What was that called?
Oh gosh, I don't remember.
Why can't?
Well, I think they closed their store part down, the part you're talking about. But you got to go to the natural food stores.
Yeah, Montanita. There's a few stores in Montanita that will probably carry it.
If not, you could throw it out there on Deb's list or ask on one of the Facebook groups, because you should be able to get that easily since it is legal here in Ecuador, which is very nice.
Oh, somebody asked us when we're going to visit Riobamba. It is on the list.
Yes.
We want to go to Ambato, Baños, and Riobamba.
I am uber intrigued now because JP said we had a couple Ecuadorians tell us that, tell JP, not me, obviously, that they think Ambato is even prettier than Cuenca. So now I am really wanting to go.
Yeah, I'm excited to go there.
I know. And that's been on our to-do list since we moved to Colorado. We are slowly but surely checking things off our list. Kind of like Loja, JP, which keeps getting pushed back.
We were supposed to go in January and we had to cancel that trip because of the Omicron outbreak. And then, yeah, we need to go. All right, we're over 200 now. Can I tell people that we're staying in Ecuador?
Yes, we are staying in Ecuador.
We have no plans to leave Ecuador. No. I don't know why everybody has been asking us this. It's like daily. I'm even getting WhatsApp messages from our friends. Are you leaving Ecuador? No, I don't know why you're asking. I guess it's because we posted the video about comparing inflation costs to different countries around the world. And we're actually going to start doing more of those videos because we know that a lot of people either don't want to move to Ecuador or now they don't qualify for the new pension income requirements. And there are a lot of other cool places to live.
Yep.
And our goal has always been to help people expand their worldview and look for different places where they might have a lower cost of living and a higher quality of life. And there's more places than just Ecuador. Ecuador is great for us, but we realize that some people come and they don't like it. So there's other places and we want to show other places, and we do want to travel more. And as soon as our geriatric dog is no longer with us, Daisy, she's 14. We think I adopted her 11 years ago and she was at least 3 when I got her. So we think she's about 14. When she's gone, we will probably start spending some time in other countries just to film for our channel and
we are going
to experience it.
But we still are planning on making some shorter trips to other countries, the closer ones.
Yep.
So yeah, we're not waiting for Daisy. Daisy's got a good house sitter, so she's pretty happy about that. She's napping behind us right now, which is why we just looked back behind us. And Chrissy, thanks for saying hi to her. We'll make sure to give her a tummy rub for you.
Yeah, she got lots of treats from the last video.
She did, yes.
So yes, we are staying in Ecuador. So it wasn't clickbait; it was legit bait.
Yeah.
Because we had so many people asking us. It was crazy. Like emails, comments, WhatsApps. But yeah, we love Ecuador.
Oh my gosh.
It's just, it feels like home to us now. It's just like home.
Yeah, but I have to say I enjoyed my time researching those other countries. So it is really fun to learn about all these other countries, regardless of where we live. And it's nice to be able to share that information with all of you. So Bill asked, can American live in Ecuador and still be able to receive disability? Well, you would receive your disability in the U.S.
Yeah, it would just be deposited into your U.S. bank account.
Apparently, there is a way to get checks deposited into an Ecuador account, but you have to run it through, is it Panama or
Puerto Rico? Or no, it was something weird, like Dominican Republic or something. It was something strange.
So personally, I think it's easier just to keep your bank account open and at home and just transfer the money here, or do what we do and transfer it over to Charles Schwab, and then you can withdraw money from your ATM too. So then you can avoid fees.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I should post that. I think I already have this in here. Yeah, we have our newsletter that we send out every Friday. Amelia does the research and I write the article. So it's, if you want the expat relevant news from Ecuador every Friday, sign up for our newsletter. You can opt out anytime.
Luke, Medellin is very high on our list, as is Cartagena. So I'm hoping we get to go there pretty soon. That has been JP's dream ever since he saw Romancing
in
the Stone.
In the 80s. I've always wanted to go to Cartagena. It looks so beautiful there.
Yes. So we will definitely be hopefully going there with this year. We have several trips planned this year. They just aren't finalized. Kind of see how the chips fall.
Mary asks if there's any change to the ban on foreigners importing cars, and no, there is not.
No,
I doubt they'll ever lift that. I can't imagine it.
No, and no, we have not been to the Galapagos yet, but that's probably not going to happen this year. We were told the best time to go to the Amazon is in December, so that's probably what we're going to do this year.
Yeah, December, Amazon.
Yes, and we may actually head back to the States to take care of some housekeeping. We haven't been back in 3 years, so it's time to go see my parents.
Santa Marta, where's that? Is that in Ecuador?
No,
sure
I saw
is.
that. Oh, that's in Colombia. I learned that when I was doing my research. I was researching another video. So what countries did I research? Bolivia, Colombia, Panama briefly. Well, Panama more than briefly. Belize, Italy, France, and Portugal. And then Thailand and Malaysia.
And Vietnam.
Yes.
Did you already say that?
I did not say Vietnam. I haven't actually got into Vietnam too deeply yet. So the research will continue. So stay tuned. We'll be doing our videos in Ecuador, of course, but we are going to be doing some of these other ones too. It's really interesting.
It is. Yes. We went to a rainforest, and our upcoming video will be from a rainforest. Yes. And we have special appearances by a flock of hummingbirds. Well, are you reading the comments?
I'm reading the comments. Somebody said, I knew you were leaving Ecuador. You're right. And you're right. The inflation is crazy. I was just talking to my sister this morning, and she said she lives in she lives in the city of Chicago. And she said gas is like $5.87 a gallon or something like that. And food is really expensive. So definitely very grateful to be here and in an area where we can walk.
Darwin dice hablan en español. No podemos hablar en español porque nuestra audiencia hablan en inglés.
Wow, good job, JP.
Vietnam is on our short list. I know. I'd love to go there. It looks beautiful.
My only concern about the Asian countries like Thailand and Malaysia and Vietnam is that everything I read is that it's like crazy hot. Well, and it was when we were in India. That was really hot. But still want to go. But I don't know, JP, after looking at France and Italy and Portugal, Spain's always been on my list, and I haven't even researched that country yet. But really, when we moved to Ecuador, we said we wanted to visit more of the South American countries. So that is what we're going to do first.
Yes.
Kind of makes the most sense to visit our neighbors to the north and the south, JP.
All right, no political posts. If you're new to our channel, we don't do politics. No politics, religion, or nutrition. And thank you, JPELP. Gracias.
Yeah, sometimes nutrition is
it's like a religion.
It's even more decisive than
divisive.
Divisive, yes, not decisive.
You said decisive.
I know. I make up my own words all the time. This is what happens when I try to learn Spanish and then I can't speak in Spanish or English.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
Yeah, somebody posted that Schwab and Fidelity are both refunding all ATM fees. We've had Schwab since we wasted like $200 on ATM fees.
Yes.
We opened Schwab very quickly, and that's nice. Now Fidelity just started doing that, I think, pretty recently.
Yeah, that is a really nice savings. And boy, we've been super happy with the service too. So we can't say anything about Fidelity, but we've been really happy with Schwab. And no, we are not leaving Ecuador, only to take trips, but we have no plans on moving. Something really radical would have to happen, like a volcanic eruption, but then we'd probably be dead anyway. So.
Or a political turmoil like Venezuela.
Yeah, like Venezuela, that would be pretty
I don't see that happening here, but you never know. But something really bad. This is our permanent home. We have permanent visas. We have no plans to leave. We're hoping our plan is to apply for citizenship next year when we're eligible in around March next year.
Yep.
So we're excited about that. And the state, a lot of people, I guess, have been worried about safety for us here.
Yes.
I say it's like, okay, downtown Denver is dangerous, especially like right by Union Station, but that doesn't mean the whole state of Colorado is dangerous. If you're worried about Denver, your safety, then avoid that area in Denver. And if you're worried about safety in Ecuador, avoid Guayaquil and parts of Manabí and Esmeraldas.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the country is safe. Almost all of the crime that happens in Guayaquil, Puerto Viejo, and Esmeraldas.
Yeah, it's really sad, actually.
Yeah.
Crazy, but That is the truth.
I
I mean,
know.
there's there's petty crime everywhere. So.
Yeah, pickpocketing is, although pickpocketing is an issue in the big cities in the US, but that'll happen in smaller cities here too.
Yes.
It's
It
a
happened
bit,
to us.
yeah, it's a bit different here, I think. Although that's a tourist area where we got
That's true.
pickpocketed. So
Yeah.
it happens in tourist areas everywhere.
It does. But we feel very safe. But you know what? We say this all the time. We don't go out until the wee hours of the night anymore. I say anymore. I haven't done that since
I know.
we're
We're usually in bed by 9 o'clock,
I know.
but I'm usually up by 5:30 or 6 in the morning. So,
So don't ask us what happens after like 10:30.
yeah.
It could be a completely different world out there.
Greg says, avoid going to a prison. I know it's horrible. In the
Oh my
prisons
gosh,
here.
I know.
So hopefully they can get that under control.
Oh yeah, I read about some of those record heat waves going on in Spain and France and in the States too. Hot, hot, hot. So Mary asked, what's the best or cheapest airline or cheapest airline to fly to Ecuador from Florida? I think the cheapest may be Spirit, but boy, people complain about that airline all the time. We always fly American and we haven't had any issues from Miami. I know JetBlue flies from Fort Lauderdale. And I think honestly, I think they're all about the same price. I haven't checked them lately.
Are we missing any? I feel like we're missing comments here. I'm going to post. If you want us to make sure that you see your comment or question, use that super chat feature.
So Frost just asked, I almost missed it, about Argentina. And yes, that is definitely on the list to go visit. It's interesting. We were chatting with a couple that live in the States, but they are actually from Argentina. And they are choosing to move to Ecuador, which was really interesting because they said they kind of liked the middle ground of the distance between the States and Ecuador compared to having to go to Argentina, which they said takes more like 10 hours,
Yeah,
right?
they said that Ecuador is halfway between.
Mm-hmm.
It's 5 hours to the US and 5 hours to Argentina. But the real issue was the inflation. Because inflation in Argentina is horrible right now. It's like 55%. And they said that prices change pretty much daily. And sometimes the places won't even sell you stuff because they don't know what it's worth based on the current value of the currency. So they said that they are excited to move to Ecuador, where for better or worse, the dollar is stable.
Right. So Carlos said, I guess Costa Rica is still affordable. What about Buenos Aires? Okay. Medellin. So I was looking at rentals in Medellin and I read an article, maybe somebody that living in Medellin can shed some light on this, that the rental prices at least for furnished places have gone up a lot. They seemed kind of expensive to me. So I was wondering if that was correct or if I was just getting wrong information or looking in the wrong place, because sometimes it's hard to know where to search.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Copa. Yeah, Copa is a good airline too.
Yeah, that's one reason why we ruled out Uruguay is because of the distance. It takes so long to get there from the US. It's like 9 hours with a layover in Bogota, I think. Well, it's Bolivia, but
Bolivia too.
I think Uruguay is the same way. Plus, it's hard to say.
I think a lot of countries have their layovers in Bogota.
Yes.
I do have a home-based job that is based in Colorado. So I still work for the same company in Colorado. So online work is definitely a great option if you're interested in making some money while you're out of the country. At least for us here, we've had stable internet all around the country. We've been able to work and do stuff like this without any issues, except for one time when the power was out. But we found out after the fact that was a planned power outage. And our cell phone hotspot worked perfectly. We have Claro, so
4G hotspot.
Yes, it was very good.
All right, there's lots of comments. Do they celebrate Thanksgiving in Cuenca since there are so many Americans there? Yes.
Yes.
And they usually post on Gringo Post, the restaurants that are having like a traditional Thanksgiving. And there are a few Gringo-oriented restaurants that really focus on that. And they'll have traditional American Thanksgiving type food.
Well, Matthew wants to know what is a good salary for an expat living in Ecuador.
Does that mean like working here or what do you need to live?
So, I mean, really, if you are bringing in like $2,000 to $3,000 a month, you should be just fine.
Yeah, for an individual,
Mm-hmm.
I would say two. I mean, we always say the cost of living for an individual. I mean, you could live a really comfortable life on $1,500 a month. So if that's what your take home is, I think you'll be fine.
Especially if you're looking at Cuenca or one of the mountain towns where it's a lot more affordable. If you want one of those high-rise condos on the beach in Manta, you're going to need more money, probably closer to $2,000, $2,500.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else is pretty affordable.
Some areas are a lot more expensive, but
yes,
some are really affordable. Like Cuenca is still, I think, the most affordable.
And
that we've
Cotacachi,
seen.
Loja. Again, the mountain towns. Along was pretty affordable. There's just not as much housing available. So that's when it starts to get tricky. That seems to be the constant thing, is the housing, as far as the fluctuations in pricing.
Oh, that's cool. There was a mobile Colombian consulate in Denver last week for the election.
Oh, neat.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, Loja is even more affordable than Cuenca, from what we've been told. We haven't spent any time there yet. I cannot believe we've been there for almost 5 years.
I know.
We've only driven through Loja once, and that was, 3 years ago?
Yeah, we stayed in Bilca, but I don't know. I don't know what we were thinking at that time.
Thanks, Lane.
Thanks, Lane. Hola.
I noticed that you could get 9% on bank CDs in Ecuador. Since they are on the dollar. Are the rates on CDs going up in Ecuador?
They're not going up. JEP rates are actually going down a little bit.
Yeah, they had, apparently JEP had so much liquidity from all of the CDs from expats that they've actually lowered their interest rates. They had too much liquidity, if you can imagine that. But some of the other co-ops are actually paying more to try and attract some of the JEP customers. But yeah, I think JEP's paying around 8% now, which it's crazy for us as Americans to think that for a 1 year CD, you can make 8%.
Yep. Yeah, it's consistent.
Yeah, it's been like that since we lived here. It was 8.5% at JEP, but
I think that the ones that pay the higher rates require a larger investment. But anyway, you still are getting a really good bang for your buck. Mm-hmm. Somebody just asked, sorry, I didn't catch who asked the question, but if what city we recommend if they only have one city to visit?
Cuenca. We always say Cuenca.
We always say Cuenca.
It's the easiest place. In fact, I think that Cuenca could be the easiest expat landing zone, period, because it gives you a nice blend of a foreign culture at the same time as not feeling so foreign.
Yeah. And it's so beautiful.
So it's a really easy place to get your feet wet if you've never lived abroad before.
Are COVID shots required to travel to Ecuador? You either have to have do you still need the vaccine?
No, it's either or.
Okay.
So either you need the vaccine completed at least 14 days before arrival, or you need a negative PCR test that was taken less than 72 hours from arrival. So yeah, either one now. And masks are not required in most places in Ecuador now.
Yes. So
do you experience earthquakes? Yes. Several. I think maybe 6 or 8 since we've been here.
More than that, because remember that month of storms in Manta? Oh my gosh, there was a bunch.
Last June, we had an earthquake swarm in Manta. There were like 300 earthquakes in a month, but they were all pretty small. We had a couple that were big enough to rock the building. But
yeah. We felt them since we live here. So if you're not an earthquake fan.
Andres asks, is the Spanish on the coast easier than the Sierra? No, the other way around. The people in the Sierra tend to be more educated and they speak more of a formal Spanish, I guess, international Spanish. On the coast, they have a really thick accent and they drop letters off of words and they contract. They have contractions. So like they don't say por favor on the coast, they say porfa. And there's a bunch of words like that where they smash the words together. And it's hard. We had a really tough time on the coast understanding the Spanish.
So somebody would just asked about altitude sickness and high blood pressure. The problem with altitude sickness is that unless you've already experienced it elsewhere, you really don't know until you get here. Most people are fine within a couple of days. They just, are breathing a little heavy, but JP has trouble at
above 8,000 feet. And I never got better in Cuenca. And when we were back in Cuenca visiting for 2 weeks, I had a couple of days where I didn't feel good at all.
Yeah.
And it was like, It wasn't when we first got there either. It was like a few days in and then like a few days before we left. So it's just, and it's weird. It hits me sometimes and not others.
I know, it is weird.
Yep.
So Cuenca can be a little bit chilly, cold and rainy at times for sure. There were times, it rained a lot when we were there. It wasn't too cold though. We've experienced colder weather. I think it depends on where you're staying too.
Mm-hmm.
The house that we rented was really drafty.
Yeah.
Leisha and I had to bundle up a lot.
Yeah, we used to like dress up and like full outfits and then cover ourselves with blankets just to watch television.
It was cold.
Somebody asked if crime is really high in Manta. In parts of Manta, not where the expats live. It's not really that bad where the expats live along Murciélago Beach.
Yeah, like the Murciélago, Barbasquillo, La Cuadra area, Mal del Pacifico. At least we felt it was fine over there.
Yeah.
And I think somebody else asked about the crime rate in Cuenca. It's the crime rate I think there's been more of
theft and
robberies, but it seems, at least from what I've read, it's more business related.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't heard too much about like the drug stuff going on in Cuenca, not like we hear about in Guayaquil and Duran and parts of Manta and Esmeraldas, as JP mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I hope they get that under control in Guayaquil. I feel really bad for the people who live there. I
know, it's really scary.
Is renting unstable in Cuenca? I heard the landlords sometimes are not easy to deal with. We've heard that too. Yeah. We've been so lucky. We've had really good landlords. Since we've been here.
We've had a couple of anal experiences with them, but people, with their idiosyncrasies.
Rigidity.
But in a good way, not in I just don't care if your roof has caved in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we have heard that from some people. I guess I don't know. Sometimes you just don't really know until you're in a situation, unfortunately. Oh, go ahead, JP.
No, it's impossible. It's kind of impossible to know until you're living there. But we've heard good stories, a lot of good stories. I would say more good stories than bad stories, but the bad stories were pretty bad.
Yeah. But I think that the nice thing is that you're not locked in like you are. It doesn't lock up your credit. So if you have to leave, then you just leave. That's my understanding.
Well, that's a good question. Would a single older woman be safe living outside of a gated community? We know a lot of people, mm-hmm. especially alone in the rural areas, who do not live in gated communities. We didn't live there. In fact, there was like one gated.
Well, we know where our friend Kristen lives. She doesn't live in a gated community. She lives in an apartment building.
Yeah, we have a friend that lives in El Berjel. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we know a lot of single women who live in regular houses. I mean, it's a condo building with a gate to get into the courtyard. Most of those are.
Not where Kristen lives.
Yeah, it is. We had to go through the gate. Remember?
But it was open because there was that restaurant there.
Oh, it's open during the day.
Yeah.
It wasn't at night. Anyway, it's a condo with a gated courtyard that's open during the day when the restaurant is open.
Thank you for being specific. Anyway, we know a lot of single women. The key is to know your surroundings and know your neighbors, because the neighbors really, everybody looks out for each other.
Oh, there's Lane again. Thank you, Lane. Was it easy to get your dog into Ecuador? Yes. Well, once we had the hard part is getting all the paperwork, the doggy passport and all the shots in the right time frame. And that was the hard part. She came off the luggage conveyor belt in Guayaquil, just like the luggage. She was on there with the luggage. It's not one of those that goes like in the US. It's a flat one. It comes in and goes around like that. And she came off right on the conveyor belt. We took her off, put her on a rolling cart, and 15 feet away was the customs office for special customs inspections. And they had clips to cut off the zip ties off of her crate, and they looked at her paperwork, and we were on our way. It took like 5 minutes at the most.
It was really fast. And somebody just sent us an email. I haven't responded to them yet. So if you're on here, I apologize. But we didn't have to, it does say that you're supposed to contact whatever agency and tell them. And we tried, and there was no way to contact them. I did read on Gringo Visa's website. They have a section about bringing your pets in, that now there's a $26 fee if you're bringing your pets in cargo. You could check out gringovisas.com and go to their blog and check that out. But regardless, it was really easy. And then with Leisha, we just put her underneath her seat. And they didn't even look at her paperwork, or they just.
I don't think they saw her. Amelia was wearing a black jacket and had her like in her arm like this, and Leisha was black. I don't think they even saw her when we went through the customs line.
Yeah, or else they just didn't care.
I bet you they didn't see her, so they didn't even ask.
But it was really weird having Daisy come off with the luggage, because I kept asking the people where in Spanish, where are they bringing her? And they kept pointing over by the luggage, thinking like I have to be misunderstanding this. I didn't. They put her on the conveyor belt. But she was fine. I think we were much more nervous than she was. Yeah. She was really mad at us, actually.
All right. Somebody asked you, did you rent a car to drive down to Miami to fly nonstop to Quito? We drove a car from Atlanta. We rented a car and drove Daisy from Atlanta to Miami and flew to Guayaquil. It was a pain. We stayed overnight halfway. It's a long drive.
It's a long drive, but I'm glad we did it that way. A rental house with a yard. A lot of the houses, or at least ours, had a gated courtyard. That's pretty typical in Cuenca. You don't find the open yard concept like you do in the American suburbs.
Unless it's in a big gated community.
Exactly.
Yeah. And there are big gated communities that have like open yards without the big walls. But
yes,
it's I've seen this all throughout Latin America, that the walls are just part of the culture. Somebody asked if there's a place like Walmart in Ecuador. Yes, it's called Corral and Mega Maxi and Hypermart. And what else is there? We have Mega Kiwi, which is like Home Depot. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there are places like that. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. Hola. And Sean, no, we have not made it to Panama yet.
No, I know we put that poll out like a month and a half ago or 2 months ago now, and we had planned on going already, but man, life just keeps getting in the way.
Well, and I decided to go ahead and get my passport, my visa transferred, and it took longer because they were backed up in the ministry office, and so we scheduled some other stuff.
Yeah, we stayed local.
Yes, and how could that's the problem, is that we want to take these international trips, but then there's so many places we want to visit in Ecuador. It's hard to.
I know. We checked our next.
Hard to decide.
Our next video I'm editing right now for next Thursday is we finally checked one of Amelia's bucket list items off, and now she can't wait to go back.
I cannot wait to go back. It was heavenly.
We actually had hummingbirds landing on our hands.
I know, it was.
It was the
amazing.
Coolest thing. We were swarmed by hummingbirds. Is there Uber equivalent in Ecuador? I believe it's banned at the moment. No, there's Uber in Guayaquil and Quito, the both metro areas. I think that's it. But then in Cuenca, you have Azu Taxi. That's similar to Uber. You can call a cab. It's not like private drivers, but you have cabs. There's also Cabify. So those are two apps that are not Uber, but you have to, like with Azu Taxi, it's still cash based. You don't pay with credit card.
So.
Oh, wow. Somebody's in London. Hola, Steve.
Hola, Steve. So how much is a doctor's visit typically? What are they, around like $25?
25 to 35, depending on what it's about.
Somebody else asked about earlier in the chat, I just remember now, about optometrist prices. And it's been our observation that everything is about a third of the cost here that it is in the United States. So that's kind of a safe rule of thumb. I don't know exactly how much it costs to go to the eye doctor. Do you remember how much? Well, your exam was free, and that's
the other thing. It's that I ordered glasses, so the exam was free.
Yeah.
Or lenses. They put the new lenses in my old frames that I got in Denver. It works very similar here. Mm-hmm. They have the same stuff too. I think it's so weird when I come here and do the eye exam and you have to look down the road and you see like the balloon or the farmhouse off in the distance. And I'm like, I've been doing this since I was a kid. And it's the same balloon or the same farmhouse. It's the weirdest thing being here and seeing that. Thanks, Linda.
Thanks, Linda. Hola.
Somebody asked, do you still need the vaccine card to shop or take the bus? We're asked periodically, like when we go into the mall or grocery store, sometimes they ask, sometimes they don't.
Yeah. We feel like just have it ready just in case.
And I'm guessing they would not, because they can't legally ask anymore or mandate it. It's not mandated by the government. So they probably let you in even if you don't have it. Are there good Mexican restaurants in Ecuador? I wouldn't call them good. They're Mexican restaurants. They don't like spicy food in Ecuador. They have a very bland palate. In fact, we had Indian food the other day, and they were telling us how they have normally they have their range from 1 to 4, but with Ecuador, it's 0 to 4 because some Ecuadorians don't want any spice at all.
Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy. So yeah, the Mexican food here is not very spicy like what we like it.
Although we've eaten at some places, and I mean, they still have good tacos and guacamole. The guacamole here is really awesome because the avocados are so incredible.
Yeah.
And David, muchas gracias.
Gracias, David. And would you consider Uruguay, if we were not so far away, is it a good place? We've heard really good things about it. We know some Ecuadorians who live in Uruguay for a while, and they really liked it.
So yes, we would consider it. And we'd still like to visit.
Yeah, we want to visit pretty much all of South America. Well, most of it. The safe parts. Yeah, not Venezuela. I guess Caracas just made the most dangerous city in the world in Venezuela. So I don't think we'll be going there.
It's really sad.
It is. Do you plan on going back to Otavalo? Yes, we are.
Yes.
We're planning that. We're making plans for that now. We don't have official dates yet, but do you have a visa plan for retirees? Yes, the pensioner visa.
Yeah, there's lots of visa options. I missed another.
Do you play a musical instrument? I used to play the trumpet.
I played the flute and band way back in the day. We know some people that are bringing their piano here. We find that very impressive.
How do pharmacies work there? Are prescriptions needed, or is it like other Latin American countries where buy over the counter? The prescriptions are needed for some things, like antibiotics. You're supposed to have prescriptions now, although they're flexible about that still. And like painkillers. But most things you can buy without a prescription. It's not nearly as rigid as the U.S.
So, Pal Derby, we've heard that people are having issues getting their dogs here in the regular airplanes. There are some companies that will transport your dogs at Lord Guau. Yeah. Can you type that in the comments?
Lord.
It's a weird name.
Guau.
You could check them out. There's a couple other ones as well, but
I think that's right. Didn't I spell that right?
So you do have some options. I know it is frustrating right now. Leah, thank you for your kind words. We really appreciate that.
What'd she say?
Thank you for sharing your information and kindness.
Oh, okay. Gracias.
Do either of you have outdoor allergies? Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah, I take a Zyrtec every day or else I'm not really functional.
So do you think they have been better or worse since being in Ecuador? I guess they're about the same for us.
They're the same. I had them just as bad in Denver.
Yeah, that's a bummer. There's just no escape. I'm allergic to grass, so there's a lot of grass around and trees.
I'm lost here.
Oh, Johnny said we loved Paradise Indian Restaurant.
Awesome.
Yay! And Ed, I know that they have good universities, but I do not know the specifics. Yeah. Sorry.
Universidad de Cuenca has some of those programs.
But we don't know much about them.
No. How are the laws there with firearms? We have an FAQ about this. I actually did a bunch of research on it. They have pretty strict gun laws. You can still own guns, but you have to go through an extensive background check, psychological eval, and it's not easy. And a lot of times they will deny your application here. And also, I'm not sure about expats, if the rules are the same.
Yeah, I don't know.
If a resident, I think residents are treated just like citizens in that regard.
I think so. So Milo, how does the health insurance plan work if you have multiple sclerosis? Milo, the Chihuahua mix. We actually have a couple of friends here that have MS, and they have coverage through the public health plan. Mm-hmm. So if you want to get private health insurance, your pre-existing condition will not be covered in most cases for at least 2 years. But with the IESS plan, you can get coverage in 3 months. And I'm assuming the care that our friends with MS get is good because they seem very healthy.
They don't complain. They haven't complained to us about their health care.
No, not in the slightest.
The problem with the private insurance is they don't cover you for 2 years, and then they have a cap on how much they'll cover for pre-existing conditions, but the IESS does not.
Sylvia, the vegan food in Ecuador is fantastic.
Yeah, it's really, really vegan friendly here.
Yes, especially in Cuenca. There's some really nice restaurants, but just in general, the quality of the fruits and the vegetables here are yummy, especially the organic stuff. Wow.
And the restaurants are extremely friendly too. The restaurants are very vegan and gluten-free friendly. Most restaurants have a variety of both on their menus, except for the traditional Ecuadorian restaurants are not as progressive in that regard. But
they're usually accommodating. And if you ask, then they'll make you something.
Yeah.
They've done that for us. Carlos, would you buy property in Ecuador or is it better to rent? We always recommend renting first because you want to make sure you like your area.
Yeah.
At least that's what we've done, and we moved all over the place. But we know people who've come here and bought sight unseen and been extremely happy. So I guess it's really a personal preference.
Yeah, a lot of people have done both, but we have not bought yet. But part of that's because of our financial situation. So we haven't been in a financial position to buy a house yet. But we also we've been wanting to move around. So.
I know. It's been fun to live in these different areas, and I'm glad we have.
Yeah.
We would not have done that had we came and bought a place, JP.
Yep. Awesome. Or I can't read that. Man, my glasses, I need to get my new lenses again. Maybe. Is there a city or country that you will never go back to due to a bad experience?
And Ola Orea Films. No.
I can't think of any.
I can't think of any.
No, I mean, I've been to a lot of countries and I liked all of them.
I know. Somebody asked us if we had any plans to travel to Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah.
We've actually been to Mexico more than any other country other than the United States. But I know we don't have immediate plans to go back there just because we've been there so often and to so many different places that it's not that exciting anymore.
Although I haven't been inland to some of the inland cities. So that would be fun. I mean, more in the mountain areas. But yeah, we'll get there. South America is first on the list.
Yeah, and South Central America.
What do you hear of drug traffic in Ecuador? Well, unfortunately, it's out there.
Yeah, it's gotten worse thanks to the pandemic.
Yeah, that's really sucky.
Yeah, and most of it's going to the United States and Europe. So.
Yeah, Ecuador apparently is like a travel hub. Is that
It's
right?
a hub. Yeah. Things go out in the banana crates through Guayaquil and then they go off to US and Europe. Is it worth having both private and IESS insurance? Some people do.
Some people do.
To cover pre-existing conditions, and then the private allows you to go to the doctors and hospitals that you want to go to. So you can do that. There's nothing preventing you other than the cost of it.
What type of visa? We have professional visas. Well, JP has a professional visa and I'm here as his dependent.
What's the deal with the bank investment? I thought that was the way to go if you didn't want to spend that 21 months there, or if you couldn't spend that time there. What is the real deal? The 21 months is required now if you want to become a permanent resident. If you just want to renew your temporary residency, then you can be gone as much as you want to on the investor visa. So,
they made a lot of changes back in February, just like that
March,
too.
Yeah.
So that caused a lot of commotion.
Thank you, Dancing Dan.
Dancing Dan, love it. Thank you. Dancing, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
We haven't done that forever.
So the 21 months thing applies to every visa now if you want to become a permanent resident.
I don't know about any summer camps in Cuenca. I don't know if they have stuff. I'm sure they do, but I don't know.
Thanks, James. And then families with autism. I mean, it's all of the issues that are in the United States are here too.
Yes.
And they have programs for dealing with it. We don't know much about them or how good they are. That's a tough one.
That is a tough one. I know some of these things are tricky, so you really need to come here and meet with the
the programs, the schools, the doctors.
Yeah, it can be hard to get this information, especially about schools. virtually or online, unfortunately.
Coming to Colorado for summer. Greetings from Fort Collins. Hola.
Oh, hola.
Isabel.
No.
No, I haven't been back to Colorado in 4 years.
No, I know we are overdue, but I just want to visit more of Ecuador.
What's the best way to get to Cajas and back? I would hire a driver.
Yeah.
But you can take a taxi out there, and then the buses will stop that come through. You can wave a bus down and hop on a bus and ride it into town on the way back. We see people doing that.
Mhm.
But the bad part is if it rains, then you're like standing on the side of the road in the rain, and that happens a lot there.
What you can do, and what we did when we went to Quicocha, is that we just we got the taxi driver to take us out there, and we just made arrangements with him to come pick us back up in like 3 hours or something like that. So that's another option you can do.
Tom Wasserman asks, thank you, by the way.
Thanks, Tom.
Can
Hola.
I get to Latin America by boat? I'm afraid to fly. I heard you can exit a cruise line even if you pay full fare. Any idea? Well, I don't really know.
Well, Manta, I mean, I know that there's a port in Manta, so you can exit and do like your day trips there, but they don't do even overnight trips. So I think that may be correct. I don't think that you have a way of entering by sea. Didn't that somebody's visa agent do something goofy like that and it got them into a lot of trouble?
I don't remember now.
Yeah. Be very careful about doing that.
Yeah, I would talk to a visa agent or maybe the consulate and ask if that's an option.
You can get here by car. I mean, if you really want to, that's a long trip, but if you don't want to fly, we've met lots of van lifers that have.
But they can't leave their car here. You can't keep your car.
But they didn't mean he has to drive his own car. You could take a bus.
Oh yeah.
There's other ways.
That would be fun. You take a bus all the way from the United States through Mexico and Central America.
Okay, shut up, JP. It was just a thought.
Jeez. I think I'd rather swim.
That doesn't sound like a lot of fun.
Aurea Films. Can you talk about any paranormal experiences you encountered in any of your travels or even through life? We would love to hear from both of you. Gracias. I've never had one. What is paranormal? That's not extraterrestrial.
No, no. Paranormal is like ghosts and like, weird, creepy stuff. I'll tell you a story that happened to me. When I was house hunting in Colorado, this is a long time ago, in an area of Denver. I told you the story, didn't I? That I went into this house and nothing weird happened, but I just got like the worst creepy, scary vibes it just had this really negative and energy, like somebody was murdered in there or something. And I just hightailed it out of there and I did not look back. So that's the closest I've come to paranormal. But I'll never forget it. Sorry, it's not very exciting.
I've never had anything interesting happen to me like that.
It was weird. I mean, it was really an uncomfortable feeling. And yeah, it was crazy.
Have we been gold prospecting since we're in gold country?
No, but that would be a fun thing to do. I feel like I did that as a little kid once.
I did that in Colorado. They have that where you go and it's like a tourist thing and you can shake the pan in the river and not really find anything.
Esperanza, Ireland. Most places are no longer requiring the vaccine card. Every once in a while we get asked. So we just have it with us just in case. So you can have a copy of it on your phone.
Somebody said, where's the pounding sound that occurred during your last live stream? I know that was horrible. I couldn't believe it.
I forgot all about that.
5:30 at night and they're out there pounding on the wall right on the other side of our studio here.
It is awfully quiet now. Now I'm afraid.
Yeah, you jinxed us.
There's going to be a marching band outside our window here.
Every time we sit down to record, there's like lawnmowers, weed eaters. They were power washing the other day. We're like, oh man, cannot get away from the noise. And it'll be quiet all day. And as soon as we sit down at this table to record a video, there's somebody outside with some noisy device.
You can open your bank account with your passport in a place like JEP. That's what we did. Mm-hmm. And interest rate, I think right now is at 8%.
I think it's 8. 6,000 is good money in Ecuador. You would be able to live like a king. Yes, that's true. You
definitely would. And dancing places, yes, there are dance clubs. Lots of, if you want a salsa, there's lots of salsa dancing You'll definitely find places to dance.
Michael asked if we have any regrets. Not leaving sooner. I think that's my only regret. Was not doing this sooner. I think we were afraid, and I don't know. I wanted to move abroad from the time I was in college, but I had one opportunity and it fell through to move to London, and fell through at the last minute. And I don't know. I've always wanted to live abroad. I'm a little disappointed that it took me until I was in my 40s to do it. But
well, I'm glad it happened when it was supposed
to happen. I know,
because otherwise we probably would never have met.
I know. I may not have met Amelia.
So we have not had any problems with parasites or amoebas, and I'm knocking on wood as I say that because I don't want to jinx us with that either. So we just make sure to wash our fruits and veggies pretty thoroughly with a saltwater solution. We did meet somebody. We've met a couple people that have gotten sick eating street food. Well, one of our friends, what was it, her first weekend here? Then they just moved, Debbie, and she had that amoeba. She was really sick.
Yeah. Our advice is, despite how cool it looks on these crazy television shows, do not eat street food if you're not used to it.
Yes.
Give yourself some time to acclimate first.
Yes. And we even say that about drinking the water in Cuenca. We drank it with no problem. But if you're new to the area, I'd still just err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
It's better to be safe than sorry.
Somebody asked about the grocery bag situation. Reusable, disposable, bring your own. We bring our own. And they're made of that like crinkly material now that's oxo-degradable or biodegradable. They have all different kinds, and they've actually passed a bunch of anti-plastic laws. So they're phasing out plastic bags and plastic containers over the next couple of years. And they have to either be made certain amount recycled material, or they have to be biodegradable. And they're actually it's getting better, but that's only for like grocery bags and stuff. They haven't really done much for like food, like like chip bags and that kind of stuff, which sucks.
Yes. And Greg, you're right. Yeah. I was referring to only the tap water in Cuenca. You can't drink the tap water anywhere else. So please do not.
Well, there are places you can drink the tap water. Like I think they said 500,000 people in Guayaquil now have potable tap water. And there's other places where you can drink the tap water.
There's a few places, but it's not countrywide.
I would err on the side of caution and drink bottled water when you first get here, and until you figure out and talk to people, like, do you drink the water?
What's our favorite Ecuadorian dish, JP? I like locro de papa soup.
Locro de papa.
What's that dish that Rebecca makes?
Oh yeah, the
caldo de.
Oh,
I can't remember.
Bolda de caldo de bola.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
But we eat the vegan version.
It's a plant-based version.
Plant-based version made out of like lentils or something.
We love things like patacones.
But somebody told us that they ate her vegan version and it tasted exactly like the non-vegan version.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The veganism or plant-based diet, I should say, is a big movement in Ecuador too. It's growing in popularity here.
So somebody asked about moving to Colombia. We have friends that live there and they love it. We haven't heard anything about rising crime there. I mean, I feel like, and granted, we don't live there, so we can't tell you firsthand experience, but I feel like it's no different than living here in Ecuador, where parts of it are going to be bad, but the majority of the places are safe. We had other friends that stayed there for a month and they were fine. They were in
Bucaramanga.
Yes. And then we had friends that lived in Medellin for several years and they absolutely loved it, but they had to leave because they had some issues with their visas.
Yeah. They weren't retired. I guess retirement visas are easier, but if you're still working age, the visas can be a bit more challenging.
And Mike, in Cuenca, you can drink the tap water. We drank it the whole time we lived there with no problems. And we drank it when we went back and stayed in our Airbnb. We've had some people tell us that if you live in an older area, sometimes maybe the pipes are old and so the water isn't as good. Mm-hmm. But we had no problems.
Oh yeah, patacones. Is that
Ecuadorian?
I think that's Latin American though. But anyway, we love patacones.
Yes, they are delicious.
Oh, thanks, Aurea Films again. Have you two ever stayed in a place that was infested with cockroaches, bed bugs, or rodents? How is pest control? No, we haven't really.
No, that has, again, I'm knocking on wood.
Ants. We've had those little sugar ants. They're tiny, tiny little ants, and there's millions of them. We've had those in almost every place we've stayed at least once.
On the coast.
We had them in Cuenca. I fought those things all the time in Cuenca. They're tiny. I mean, you have to really get down on the ground to see them because they're so small. But
when we lived in our condo in Olón, we had a couple of, I think I found one cockroach in there. I mean, we lived with a big yard, so there's critters.
Yeah.
But no rodents. I know we've seen them around Ecuador, so they're here, but not in the house. It seems like, I don't know. We haven't had an issue with that.
Yeah, maybe the tarantulas take care of them.
Yeah, maybe they do. And there's lots of birds. I think the birds probably help with that too.
Lots of swallows. I'm sorry,
I think
the mountains, roads still scary in Ecuador and how to avoid them. Some of them are because of all of the rain we've been getting. There's been a lot of landslides and those can be pretty scary.
So Laura, no worries that you're late to the live stream. We're just chatting away, and welcome from Denver. That's cool. So you always have to pay your U.S. taxes. It depends. The tax thing is kind of goofy here, but you won't be double taxed.
Correct.
You're
not taxed in Ecuador on any money that you earn outside Ecuador, as long as that money is taxed somewhere.
Right.
So they have a special law that they created to tax people who have like businesses in tax havens. So basically the tax havens don't work for Ecuador because they'll figure it out and tax you on that money.
Yeah, it's a little confusing when you read the laws. And it's so funny you would ask that, because JP and I were just discussing this on our walk this morning about taxes. And I think that the laws here are written for all the other countries, not the U.S., since the U.S. is, I think, one of 2 countries in the world that require you to pay taxes no matter where you live. So what other kinds of insects besides ants? There's a lot. So really, when we lived in Cuenca, though, we hardly had any ants, spiders. There's spiders. Mm. We had big flying roach things in Olón. I was trying to think if those were still part of the cockroach family. I don't know. They're kind of cool, actually. Yeah. But they hardly ever came in the house. And then remember those otutus?
Oh, yeah.
So those are these black stick bug things that they're like this big.
In Cuenca. They're only found along the Tomebamba and the Yanuncay rivers in Cuenca. Luis, I wouldn't call it a huge crime wave in Cuenca. In Guayaquil, it's not good.
Right.
Guayaquil is almost all the crime in Ecuador occurs in Guayaquil. Cuenca has seen some increase in crime recently, but it's not. I wouldn't call it a crime wave.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Guayaquil though.
Guayaquil.
That the whole province of I can't say
Guayas.
The whole province of Guayas, but there's a lot of areas in that.
The whole metro area of Guayaquil, all of the suburbs, it's just not great there right now.
Yeah, it's really, really unfortunate to say the least. It sucks.
The tax rate in Ecuador is a marginal tax rate, just like the U.S. So the more you make, the bigger your tax rate is. I think it tops out at 35%. Anybody that makes under 11,000 doesn't pay any tax.
Right. For those of you who are late, we are not leaving Ecuador. We posted that question because we've been getting a lot of questions from people out there asking if we're leaving, and JP speculating that is because of the fact that we put out our poll about other countries to go visit, and then our last video about other countries.
And I've been writing about crime in my newsletter.
Oh, yeah.
I think. So, but no, we're not leaving.
Nope, we absolutely love it here.
Yeah. Love it. Here, I should probably post, we have an awesome community of current and future expats. If you guys are interested in joining us, we have a very active community on Discord. And if you guys have a question for me or Amelia, you can just tag us with the @ symbol in our Discord community, and we respond almost immediately. And we're active over there.
Yes, we are.
So we would love to have you as new members of our community.
Yes, absolutely.
On Patreon and buy me a coffee.
Veterinary care in Cuenca is quite good.
Oh,
actually, we found the veterinary care good everywhere we've been, even in our tiny little town of Olón.
Mm-hmm. Can you hire motorbikes in Ecuador? Yes. There are bike rental places.
Have we done any exploring in the Salinas area? Yes, we've stayed there a couple of times, and we like that area quite a bit, actually. Average rent to buy a house, or average Wait, what is the average rent or to buy a house? But geez, it's all over the place. I mean, you could get anywhere from, geez, to rent a house, I don't know, 500 up to like 5,000 probably. Really depends on the area you want to be.
Boy, there's so many questions. Is Discord best? I'm not sure what that means.
No.
Our Discord, it's discord.com. It's a chat service that's connected to Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee. It's just a third-party tool.
Yeah, the gas is definitely more affordable here than in the United States.
Yeah, and they're talking about they're going to start, I think next month, actually, they're going to start refining their own premium, so the price of premium should come down. Because right now it's, I think, $4.69 a gallon. So we're hoping that comes down next month for the local people.
E-bikes are really popular here.
Yeah, you can buy them. E-bikes, e-cars, and e-scooters, electric scooters all over. They're available everywhere. Electric cars, hybrids are really popular.
And they're so quiet.
Yeah.
Aurea Films, thanks for all your questions. They were fun. Glad you could join us. And thanks for your support.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Yes. And then Mike wants to know what inspired us to leave alone. We had only planned on staying there for a year, and then we wanted to move up to Manta. And also JP was getting a little tired of the small town atmosphere, although I loved it, but
I think the universe put us in alone exactly when we needed to be there, because we used our YouTube channel and we raised $47,000 to help feed people during the pandemic because it's a tourist area and people were like starving.
Yeah.
So we worked with a bunch of other like food distribution groups in the area. We raised money and we helped. Basically, they put food kits together and delivered them, and a lot of people were raising money, and we were there during the perfect time. And then once all that was over, I was ready to leave because I'm not a small town person. Wonder why not Mexico, closer to the U.S. Closer to the U.S. Just curious.
You know, we had actually thought about going to Mexico, but I guess JP and I decided we wanted to do something a little more exotic, which, you know, when we were talking about Ecuador and South America, it sounded so exotic to us.
Yeah.
It doesn't anymore because we live here and it's normal.
It's not that much different than like Southwest U.S. It reminds me a lot of New Mexico.
Yeah.
Also makes the nice thing about Ecuador is it's on the dollar, and so we don't have to do any of that math conversion in our head, and our dollars go so much further here. And I don't know, there are so many factors that we just decided Cuenca, we wanted to check out Cuenca, and we loved it. Like Amelia didn't like it so much the first day. It took her a couple of days to warm up. It took me like 2 days. As soon as we got there, and we woke up the first morning there after we got in late at night, and we went for a walk, and I'm like, oh my God, I love this place. I couldn't wait to move back.
So Fire Stick, yes, that does work in Ecuador.
Yeah.
And we recommend flying into Quito Airport. We've flown into both, but we prefer Quito. Plus, from Quito, you can fly to other parts of Ecuador easily, and Guayaquil, you cannot.
Well, you can fly to Quito.
You can fly to Quito. You can fly to Galapagos.
Although they're reactivating those flights to Cuenca July 1st from Guayaquil.
That's true.
You can fly from Guayaquil to Cuenca. It's like a 20-minute flight. It's so short. So Amazon Fire Stick works, but no YouTube TV or YouTube Music. I don't know.
No.
We can get YouTube on our television if you have a smart TV. I don't know about YouTube TV if that's, I don't know. We should know that. We're YouTubers.
We should know that. I don't know. We have Netflix. That's what we use.
Website where you can be compensated for technical writing. ConstantContent.com is one. And I'm not sure about technical writing, but you can do all kinds of writing on there. It's probably technical. Fiverr.com.
Fiverr.
Fiverr.com.
Oh, gracias, Ana.
Yeah, it is overcast a lot here.
Oh, and Juan, we're sorry to hear you're missing your beautiful country. Minneapolis is a nice city in the summer. During the winter, it's quite brutal.
Does Roku work there? Yes. We used to have a Roku, but now we have a smart TV, so we just use the apps.
Yeah, Roku and Fire Stick both work.
Yep. We climbed Chimborazo. No. That's like almost 21,000 feet, and
No, we can drive to the base and
camp.
just admire the views.
I really want to go to Chimborazo, but I will not be hiking to the top of that. At least not without an oxygen tank. What?
And an oxygen tank and a lot more.
And a spacesuit because it's so high. It's the highest point on Earth, or I should say it's the closest point to the sun on Earth, atop of Chimborazo, because of the equatorial bulge. Yeah, so no thanks. We'd have to wear like a spacesuit to avoid being irradiated.
Wow. But Bill Wood said he climbed up to 17,000 feet. Well done. Wow. That is extremely impressive because, man, it's hard to do. You know, in Colorado, we had those 14ers and those were killer. I can't imagine going up past that. That's impressive.
You see it. What is it? I can't read the name. Anaman. Can you pronounce that?
Anemones.
That's like anemone. It's hard to say. It's like anemone.
Sorry. And thank you.
Thank you. And is Rio Sol and Cuenca a good hood? That's over close to.
That I feel okay. So
that's by Puertas del Sol, right? Or close to Feria Libre?
I think it's closer to the IESS hospital.
I don't know where that is.
I just looked that up for somebody the other day. So the answer is if it's where I think it is, then yes. Over by Feria Libre, that's on the way to Baños. That's not the same area.
No, Feria Libre is over on the way to Gringolandia.
Well,
it's past where Opera's Y Tours is.
All right, so I'm almost positive Rio Sol is where, like, if you're driving into Cuenca from the Cajas, and we have this.
Oh, is that over by where Jessica lives?
She lives over in Rio Amarillo, but yeah, it's kind of in the same area.
She lives by the Yellow River. Don't ask.
Sorry.
Anyway, I think that area is pretty good.
Yes. I haven't heard anything bad about it.
That whole area over there is nice. You can't really go wrong in Cuenca, except maybe Miraflores isn't as safe. It's over in by the red light district. I wouldn't live by the red light district. They're up all night.
Are we ever going to show a beach with lots of people? We typically don't go to the beach when there's a ton of people out there, but yes, we can do that at some point.
At some point.
That is a fair question because you're not the only person to ask how come there's never anybody in our videos, but that's really for their privacy and because it's easier for us to film and talk when there's not so much noise, and the beach can get really noisy.
And we tend to film when there's not as many people out. We go on off days and not holidays. And I have a special camera that removes all people in the background. Amelia she wasn't listening to me.
I heard you. I'm sorry. I'm reading the questions or the comments. I was just thinking, what are some of the things you do miss about the United States? Well, I miss being able to just, I guess, go into the Apple store and maybe get like your battery fixed or something like that. There isn't much. There's a few specialty items that we can't get here, some specialty spices, but when I first moved here, I missed Amazon, but I've gotten way past that. It's part of the fun of living here is learning what you can get from Ecuador and from other countries that aren't available in the States. So there's a lot of positive. Other than missing family, I can't really think of anything.
No. Lane asks, how do we find our Discord channel? If you join us on Patreon or buy me a coffee, you'll get connection instructions. It's only for our band of unconventionals.
So I'm really now just realizing as my nose is itchy, I miss Flonase. Somebody asked about allergies. I don't have Flonase here, and that is the one thing I do miss. So there are some medications you cannot get here in Ecuador.
Yeah. Yeah, coastal Ecuador is really pretty, especially alone. Are your nose itchy?
Yeah, sorry, you guys.
We went for a long walk outside today, and our allergies are both really bad. It rained all day yesterday, and so everything is in full bloom today because the sun is out. It's really nice. I've read that newer buildings in Cuenca sometimes have toilets that can handle flushing toilet paper. Yes, that's true.
That is true.
The nicer buildings in newer neighborhoods, you can flush the TP.
Yes. Thank you, Lane, for your offer for Flonase.
I know that's one thing we haven't been able to find here.
No, although I will say in Ecuador's defense, I have not asked about it in a long time.
Yeah, maybe we should ask again. They have my Zyrtec now.
They do, so it wouldn't hurt to ask. So here's the thing with Amazon. Amazon says they will ship to Ecuador. I don't know. I heard it takes months. Some people say it works. Some people say it doesn't. To me, I wouldn't chance it. You can use mule services and pay their flat rates and get your stuff here. And those things are pretty consistently effective. Those places, those companies, whatever I'm trying to say. Those people.
I'm from Sacramento. Cool. Got 5 pants based on my favorite. Oh, that's cool. You custom. Yeah, you can get custom clothing and shoes made here. That's one of the nice things is that they still do that. I mean, they still make things by hand here.
Yeah.
You get furniture made by hand, curtains. I mean, it's really easy to have everything just custom made.
And in a lot of cases, it's cheaper. Exactly. Yeah. Do your U.S. families come down to visit you much?
No.
No, not as much as we would like.
Mine have never come.
No, it's harder with aging parents. My dad's not physically capable of traveling right now. My sister and my niece came and visited, and we've had friends come.
Yeah.
And I agree, it would be a good opportunity.
So which city has the least amount of humidity? Any of the mountain cities. The humidity is pretty low in the Sierra. It's high in the coast.
I didn't think Manta was terrible, but...
Well, when we went to Cotacachi and we went back to Manta and got off the airplane, we're like, oh my God, I didn't realize it was this humid. But after living on the coast for 2 years, we had forgotten. We just didn't notice. And also Manta is not nearly as humid as Olón and Montanita area.
Yes. Yeah, that was kind of a shock.
Have you two been able to get a health plan in Ecuador? Yes, we have health insurance. We haven't used it because we don't go to the doctor. But
so no, we are not leaving Ecuador, only to visit other places. We love Ecuador.
How many days would you need to tour Cuenca? I would give it a week.
Yeah.
7 to 10 days would be a good.
Especially if you're really thinking seriously about moving, give yourself as much time as you can.
Mm-hmm. And that's just Cuenca. So there's all kinds of day trips outside Cuenca too that are amazing.
So Alex from Austin, we have several friends that have bought cars here. I don't think it's much more difficult than buying a car in the States. Would you agree? It's hard to get a
loan.
Yeah, it's harder to get a loan.
As an expat, you're not going to get a loan because you won't have a credit history here. They don't take our American or U.S. credit history or credit reports. They don't even know what those are.
Yep, but we've had friends buy used cars and they
just pay cash.
Yep, and they went through the dealers and it was no problem.
So we have health insurance with Confiamed, and it's gone up. It's $192 a month. It increased like $15 due to the pandemic. And it covers everything. And it even covers my pre-existing condition up to like $7,500 now for my spinal issues.
It was like $170, so it's gone up $30 since we lived here.
Yeah, it's gone up twice. It went up from $174 to $186 to now it's $192.
We have not visited Baños de Agua Santa yet. It is definitely on the list. And Chris wants to know, is a 6-month rental for the winter doable in most places? Absolutely, you can do that. You
can do monthly, 3 months, 6 months. It really depends on the landlord, but you can find a lot of stuff on Airbnb.
Yep. Although I don't know if I would commit to 6 months on an Airbnb. But
no, but you could do a month and then
renegotiate. Yes.
Oh, so we have an Ecuadorian, Leonardo, living in the USA, getting ready for retirement. How is crime in Ecuador now? And do you recommend to live in a city or a small town? Well, crime is bad in parts of Ecuador. Most of Ecuador, it's not any different. As city or small town, it's really a personal preference.
Yeah.
If you want to live in a city, we recommend Cuenca, Loja, Cotacachi. Small towns, Olón.
I don't know. I consider Cotacachi a small town.
Cotacachi's a small town. It's a small town.
Manta's a bigger city. I guess it depends on how close you want to be to healthcare. Cuenca has great healthcare. I mean, Manta does too. They have some newer hospitals. Salinas, I don't know. Salinas is really nice, but they don't have all the amenities that some of the other bigger cities do. That's why we always recommend Cuenca.
Somebody's visiting in November, flying to Guayaquil. How do we get over to our hotel? You can just take a cab, or the hotel may have a shuttle too. You could probably arrange.
Yeah, or you can arrange a driver.
The cabs will cost you $5 from the airport. That's generally what we pay. Depends on where your hotel is.
Oh, well, they're.
What?
So wait, so you need I guess I'm a little confused. We're visiting Manta, fly to Guayaquil. So you want to get to your Guayaquil hotel, or you need to get to your hotel in Manta? If you need to get to your hotel in Manta from Guayaquil, then I would definitely recommend either taking a buseta. There is a Manta Express buseta service, or you could hire a private driver. You can take a bus too. It just takes longer.
Yeah, let me paste this link in there.
Oh, yeah, we can recommend
so
drivers.
we can recommend drivers. If you need a private driver, we have a whole bank of them. Just go fill out the private driver referral form and we'll send an introduction email.
Yes.
It's a free service for you guys. We just did that because we were getting so many messages every day that it was taking us days to respond. And so we created an automated system that does it immediately. Thank you, Melody.
Muchas gracias, Melody.
I love the dancing pair.
I know, cute.
With the
party hat.
Party hat and the party horn. Do we have supplements? Yes. There are a lot of natural stores here. The selection is not what you're going to find in the United States. They don't have 1,000 different types of supplements. They have like 100. So
yeah, but you can.
But you can find most things here.
Yes. Best beach town for a senior to live for 3 months a year. Depends on if you want city or country.
Or mountains or beach.
Well, he said beach.
Oh, beach.
Yeah. So I would say Salinas, Manta, and Olón are our top three. Yeah. Olón is going to be your most rural option. And Manta will be the most developed.
Olón is really cool, though. They have really great restaurants. It's very family friendly, kind of bohemian. The restaurants are amazing. Montanita is awesome to go people watch. But Salinas has a lot more housing options and high rises, and the beach is beautiful.
It is a really nice beach.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike.
Mike
Barber.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
And I saw one. Where did that go? Do you tip like we do in the U.S.?
No.
Tipping is not expected here. If you do tip, it's usually $1 per person or 10%, whichever is more. Mm-hmm. But if you don't tip, they don't look down on you. They just don't really expect the tipping. It's not a tipping culture. And plus they get paid. They don't get paid as if they're going to get tipped. So they get paid a rate that they're expected to get paid without a tip. Thank you, Michael Nelson. Did you visit San Jose just north of Olón? Yes, we have a video from there. We like small towns, but love the restaurants in Olón. Yeah,
San Jose is really cute. There's a lot of really cute towns up between La Entrada and, well, actually even further, all the way up to Ayampe and Olón. And muchas gracias, Michael. It's a great area.
And if you do a search on our channel for San Jose, I think you should find a video.
Yeah,
we filmed at least one there.
Yeah, and we went over to Nunez and La Entrada.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what was that? Corilla.
Oh, yeah, Corilla.
Well, thank you, Melody.
Muchas gracias, Melody. We appreciate it. And Don wants to know if Ecuador has spicy food. They can make spicy food, but the traditional Ecuadorian food is not spicy. Oh, Bill say he has friends in Jaramillo. We've been there. That's a really neat little town too.
It is neat. Yeah, we actually filmed a video there, but it was so boring that we didn't publish it. Not that the town was boring, but just
the video.
It came out boring, and it was when we actually we've probably recorded 5 or 6 videos over the last few years that we never aired because they just came out so boring. We knew no one would watch them.
All right, Bill. Now I have that song in my head.
Which one?
Isn't that Dionne Warwick? Did she sing that? Do you know the way to San Jose?
No, I don't know.
Do you know the way to San Jose?
You
don't know that song?
What's a cunado?
I don't know what that means.
From Hippie Hapa? We've been to Hippie Hapa.
Yes.
They have good coffee too. They make good coffee from Hippie Hapa.
And it's a fun
word to say. Hippie Hapa.
Yes, I agreed. We tip. We always tip.
Yeah, we always tip. Yeah, we always tip either, like if we just go have coffees, we leave like $1 per person, like $2. And then we almost always leave 10%. And here's another thing in Ecuador, you'll see a lot of times like a 10 or 12% service fee if you go to a nice restaurant. And from what we've been told, the servers do not see any of that service fee. It goes straight to the restaurant. So I'm not exactly sure why the restaurant charges that, but just know that if you see that, it's not going to your server most likely. So if you want your server to get a tip, you have to leave it on the propina on the receipt.
Yes. So Cunado means brother-in-law. Muchas gracias.
Oh, cool.
And Dancing Dan wants to know if we had to pick a second country, what country would it be? A second country that we'd want to live in? And that is an excellent question. And that is something that we will be researching as we travel to some other
I know there's
countries,
so
because we
many.
just don't know.
There's so many. I know. We had ruled out Peru, until we started researching it, and we're like, wow, there's some really cool areas in Peru that are not in Lima and that are popular with expats.
Or not at like 16,000 feet.
Yeah. And the same with Bolivia. I've always wanted to go to Bolivia. And there's actually lower elevation cities in Bolivia too. It's just a pain to get there.
So stay tuned.
Aurea Films is back. Do you too watch other travel YouTube channels like Walter's World? Yes. Cara and Nate? Yes. Gabrielle Traveler? Yes. I'm mad at Gabrielle Traveler. He came here and did a video, and he had his one video from Ecuador still has twice the views as our biggest video. So I'm mad at him. Fun for Louise. I have not heard of that one. And Hey Nadine, I've heard of that one. I haven't watched anyway. Would you guys ever like to collab with any of them? Thoughts?
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, we've done some collabs, but they're a lot of work.
It depends on how.
Yeah,
we got to keep them simple.
Yeah, because they were a lot of work, and we didn't get a ton of views or subscribers out of them. But
it's cuñado. Gracias, Ana.
With an Inye.
Yes, Inye. I appreciate we want to speak correct Spanish whenever possible. But yeah, that's an interesting question, Aurea. Thank you.
Yeah, I know we haven't done a collab in a while, and to be honest, we've done, I think, 3 collab videos with other YouTubers, and 2 of those, one of them isn't YouTubing anymore, and one of them completely changed the channel, and the name isn't even the same anymore.
I know. So we're a little
gun shy about doing it because we do a collab and then they go away. So,
but I don't think any of those channels are going away. They're big.
Yeah.
They're way bigger than us.
Still can't believe Gabrielle Traveler has like 900,000 views on his Cuenca video.
So you're not mad, you're envious.
Yeah, maybe. Not mad. Mad. We filmed
you can't be mad at him.
We filmed like 200 videos there, and I think all of our 200 combined don't have as many views as his one video. But he also travels all over the world and has a huge audience.
Yes, he does. And good for him.
Yeah. His videos are good too.
Yes. Medical marijuana, they have CBD oil here. So that's, I guess, what passes for medical marijuana. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
It's not really the same as like the way they have it set up in the US.
Yeah.
But the CBD oil you can buy all over the place. And it helps a lot.
Mm-hmm. It's great for my nerve pain from my spinal injuries. So
the question, US taxes, about are U.S. income taxes a big deal? Well, it's a big deal if you don't pay them.
Yeah, if you're an American citizen,
you got to pay them.
It's a big deal.
It doesn't matter where you live in the world. You have to still pay your U.S. taxes, your federal tax. Well, in your state too, depending on where you live.
Yeah.
Or where your state residency is.
Have you done a video in San Clemente? No, we haven't. We never made it to San Clemente.
No, we didn't.
It was on our list, but we never made it there. And we did make a video from Huron.
Yes.
And Busa, Laguna Busa.
Yeah. Boy, those are old videos.
Amelia still had funky hair back then. Are there nice parts of Guayaquil? Yes, there are nice parts, but it's not a very safe city. I mean, it's the most dangerous city in Ecuador, and they just made the top 50 most dangerous cities in the world, unfortunately.
We've enjoyed it when we visited there, but we haven't been in over a year. We don't have any plans on, I guess it's been a year, at least a year and a half now. We don't really have any plans on going there. Oh, Sean said, yes, it was Dionne Warwick. Thank you, Sean. Yeah. And somebody, I saw the note about going to, was it Guano? That reminds me of
Bat.
Yes. But he said it's a really cute little town over by Riobamba. So thank you for the tip, because we always like to hear more about the areas where we want to go visit.
Are there a lot of bats there, I wonder?
Could be.
Somebody asked about having a safe. It's common. A lot of places you rent have a safe already, like one of the little hotel safes.
Yeah, so that's normal.
And you can buy those at the Mega Maxi sells the little hotel safes, the little rectangular ones. Has the war between Russia and the West affected you any?
It's definitely affected Ecuador because they export bananas
and roses
and some other things to Russia.
Yeah. So, and it's also 30 or 40% of the fertilizer used in Ecuador came from Russia before the war started. So that has caused problems for the farmers.
Oh, did you see what Gilbert said? I'm Ecuadorian living in DC for 37 years. Learn more about Ecuador from you guys. Thanks. Thank you. We appreciate that. We are very passionate about our life here in Ecuador.
Yep. How do you get your ATM renewal from your bank? Oh, the cards? We have somebody bring them for us.
Yeah, you'd have to get them shipped here.
We have friends bring any of that kind of stuff, like new credit cards.
And Scott asked if we've thought about
doing relocation tours. No.
we could recommend people that could help you.
Yeah, there are people that already do that here.
That is just not in our wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. I don't envy those guys that do that. It's so much work. And also, I mean, it would be hard for us to continue our YouTube schedule and our jobs if we were out doing relocation tours, because we work every day like everybody.
Jose, we always recommend renting first, because
when you first get here, just so you find out if you like the area and the place.
But like we've said before, some people come here and buy immediately and they're really happy. So it's a personal preference. But since we've chosen to live in other parts of Ecuador, I'm really glad we did not entertain the idea of buying anything. I think Daisy's telling us it's time to wrap it up.
Hopefully you can read this comment. I can.
That's awesome.
Yes, I can. How long does it take to open a bank account in Ecuador? What kind of documents will you need? So there's a difference between a co-op, which is like a credit union, and a bank. And you need a cédula to open a bank account, but you can open a co-op account at JEP, at least with your passport only. And you just need your passport for that. But as far as the bank goes, we've heard that you actually need like 2 letters of recommendation to open a bank account here.
They have you need to have some sort of utility bill or something to show that you have a residence here. Yeah. But it's pretty basic stuff.
Yeah. Do you both work from home? Yes. Amelia has a real job with a real company back in Denver. And my job is YouTube, our membership community, writing. I still maintain like 12 or 15 websites that from my previous online job where I used to build websites. I still maintain those. But yeah, this is a full-time job. It's a full-time job for me to do all of the stuff that goes along with YouTube, like the e-course. Oh, and that reminds me, I should post that again. I forgot. We're running a discount off our e-course. Have I even mentioned this yet?
I don't think you did.
I meant to mention this. I forgot. So we have a 20% discount good for today off our Ecuador Expat Fast Track e-course. And that took me, hundreds of hours to make that. So that's what I do. I do that kind of stuff. That's my job now.
So Smiley Women, we have encountered gringo pricing, but not very much. It hasn't been that bad. You kind of get used to, you know what the prices are, and it happens once in a while, but it's not rampant.
Yeah, it's so little too. A gringo price here might be an extra 50 cents. It's not like some countries we've heard it's double. They call it the double. They'll do double pricing, but we haven't seen that here.
So yes, Gersland, your wife, you can tell Mariella, I have been to San Antonio. JP has not, but I really liked it. I've been several times. The Riverwalk is cool. So
Ninja asks if we will give up our U.S. citizenship.
Nope.
Not likely. We have no plans to.
Nope.
Unless something drastic changes.
And yeah, we do have a traveling mailbox address for our residency in Colorado for mail. And
thank you, Johnny. Appreciate the feedback.
Oh, thank you.
How is the process if you want to bus? I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
What is an e-course? We have 63 videos that walks you through the process of moving to Ecuador. And it's also got written content with all links to everything, all the stuff you need to move here. It's just so easy. It's a fast track. I wish we would have had it when we moved here and we didn't. We had to figure it all out on our own. It was hard, but
it was a process.
It was a process. It removes all of the guesswork. And anyway, the link I shared, you can read more about it and read our reviews. We have a lot of really good reviews from our students.
So Sean, check out olx.com.ec. You can get, it's like a classified for cars and rentals and for sale properties and all sorts of stuff.
How do you vote in U.S. elections with an online mailbox? We still have our driver's license from Colorado, and Colorado allows us to vote by email. So it was pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's different by state.
Yeah. If you're here in Ecuador, you can have, I know you can get your ballot here. I'm not exactly sure how. I think they send it to the embassy, and the embassy will collect ballots and send them back to the United States. But we haven't actually had to do any of that, so we don't have a lot of information about it. We don't have firsthand knowledge. There's groups, though, that will help you get your vote registered. So it'll happen. There are ways.
Yeah. Somebody asked when you move to Ecuador, is your state of residence the last state where you lived? It is if you leave all of your address and everything there. We made the mistake. If we had it to do over again, we would have moved to a tax-free state before we moved to Ecuador. And I think we're going to have to go back this year and move to either Texas or Florida or South Dakota, because Colorado taxes are costing us thousands of dollars a year, and we don't live there. I haven't even been there in 4 years, so I don't really feel right paying those. I don't like paying federal taxes either, but that's the price of membership to be an American.
Yep, that's the way it is.
Yes,
we'll pay it and say thank you.
Yeah. Somebody is asking for our Patreon, so I will share that.
Oh, and somebody asked if we keep the e-course updated, and the answer is yes. That is important.
Yeah,
especially with the visa changes.
Anytime anything changes, I go in and update the e-course. But a lot of things haven't really changed that much. We published it about 6 months ago, and other than the visas, there isn't much else that has changed. But you can comment or ask questions in the e-course, and we will respond. But if you want immediate stuff, the best thing to do is join us on Patreon or buy me a coffee and connect to Discord. We're active there every day. And I check it all the time. First thing I check in the morning, last thing I check at night.
I know JP is on it a lot.
Yeah. Are the prices of homes going up in Ecuador?
Depends.
Just like everywhere else. Depends on where you go.
Certain areas of Manta, the prices have gone up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Cuenca, not really.
Yeah. From what we've been told, Cuenca real estate is kind of flat.
Oh, Ola from her RZ. He's
from Huron. Awesome.
Cool. Very cool.
Beautiful waterfalls in Huron.
Yes. So is it easy to find a medical interpreter?
It's easy to find interpreters, especially in Cuenca. If you're in Cuenca, the doctors and the nurses will probably speak English.
Yeah.
So.
And that's something your insurance agent could probably help you with too.
Yeah, if you ask your insurance broker, then they will help you with finding English-speaking doctors. And the brokers that we recommend speak English, and they can help.
Mm-hmm. Max was saying that they lived in Cuenca for 10 years and have never had a bank account. I think we lived here for 3 years before we opened our bank account.
Yep.
So yeah, you don't have to have one. You're right about that.
Yep. Blue Box. Yeah, we recommend Blue Box and Maurice
Miranda. He's really good too.
Many Canucks there. Yes, lots of Canucks in Ecuador. Lots.
Yeah, there's another guy from Minnesota. Hola, Matthew. We've had several people from Minnesota today.
Wow.
And then a couple of people have asked how long they should give themselves to get ready to move to Ecuador. We always say give yourself a good 6 months. You may not need that much time, but we were just talking to some people the other day, and they said that time is things are starting to really pick up, and they're feeling a bit overwhelmed, and they've been working on this for about 6 months. So
yeah,
better to be safe than sorry.
So the referrals link is, if you go there, you can select private insurance or insurance brokers. and fill out the form, and that will send an email introduction to you and Blue Box and Maurice.
And Lane, very cool. We will see you over on Discord. And hola, Robert. I see some other Texans.
Yeah. The bus from Guayaquil to Cuenca is very scenic.
It is a pretty drive.
I definitely recommend doing that in the day, not at night.
Yes. Well, yeah. Well, then you would miss out.
I know you miss, and also it's very windy.
Yes. Oh gosh, driving through the
Pittsburgh, the city of brotherly love, right? Isn't that Pittsburgh?
Yes. Can I work there easily as a massage therapist? Yeah, we've met multiple massage therapists. So yeah, you should be able to. I mean, I don't know how easy it is, but it's definitely doable.
I guess we should. Wow, we've been going at this an hour and a half already. I guess we should wrap this up.
Been telling us
she
needs to go out.
Daisy wants to go outside, and also we have a walk date. We're gonna go. She's gonna go walk for a walk with her friends.
Her pack. Angel, you do not need to have a car here. We have no intent. Well, I can't say we have no intentions. We talk about it every once in a while, but we walk all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
We've lived here very comfortably without having a car.
They have 911 here, just like the U.S. You dial 911 and for emergencies. We haven't had any interaction.
Lane, I hope that I just have to remember to take my allergy pill, and then I won't need my Flonase. That is the key. It doesn't work if you don't use it.
What are the chances of exploring Galapagos by the end of this year? Not many YouTubers go there. I know we were thinking about going this year, but the year is getting away from us. And I think we're going to go spend some time in the Amazon this year. I don't know. It's also a budget issue.
Yes.
Because we've looked into it. It's going to cost us like $10,000 and
to do do
what we want to do to film for our video.
Yeah. But we will definitely be going. That's the other dream location of JP's, Cartagena and the Galapagos.
Yeah. And the Amazon. I really want to do the Amazon.
Yes.
Go up the river in a canoe and all that stuff.
Maria, you can definitely get your visa yourself without having to hire a visa agent or a lawyer.
Oh yeah, Philadelphia is the city of brotherly love. Pittsburgh, that's Liberty Bell.
Yeah, I was thinking.
That's Philadelphia too.
That's Philadelphia.
Pittsburgh is where they make the cars. No, that's where the Steelers. That's the Steelers.
Oh, gosh.
I didn't get it right.
All right. Wow. Whimsy 6 said $6.40 for diesel in Sacramento. Yikes.
Wow. That's really
crazy.
Expensive.
Wow.
Visiting for a few months, roam with a U.S. cell phone or get a SIM card. The SIM cards are pretty cheap. You can do prepaid SIM cards here. I would bring an extra phone. What I would do is bring an extra phone with you, get a prepaid SIM card and plug it in. Just make sure the phone is unlocked.
Yes.
But you can also activate Wi-Fi calling on most carriers have Wi-Fi calling, so you can call as long as you're connected to the internet from Wi-Fi.
Yep, it works quite nicely.
Yep. Yeah, Philly is the city of brotherly love. Everybody's correcting me. Sorry, guys.
Oops. We knew that. What the hell were we thinking?
I just get it mixed up.
Well, you're human.
PH.
You're allowed to get stuff mixed up, as am I.
How often do you travel to the United States? I have not been back in 3 years.
Yeah, we have not traveled outside of Ecuador in 3 years.
Gracias, Aurea.
Muchas gracias.
Thanks for all your support. We really appreciate it.
Dancing Dan.
That's Dancing Dan.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate it.
We can each have a nice coffee on that.
I know. We can get a latte.
A latte.
They make good lattes here.
Con leche de almendra.
Sí.
Yes, building your own home is doable. Are there trusted builders? Yes, but you need to make sure and get a reference.
Yes.
Talk to real estate agents, get a trusted referral, and also realize that things operate on a different time scale here than they do in the United States.
Yes, they do. And yes, WhatsApp is the preferred social media. Well, it's the preferred texting and communication app. And yes, you can open a co-op account if you are not a resident. You need your passport. Hippie Hoppa coffee. We have had that before. We like the Aloha coffee.
Oh, thank you, Angel. Angel. That's awesome. Glad that they enjoy our videos.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
They're going to love the next one. I'm not telling them where they are. We went to what is it called? A cloud forest? Rainforest?
Cloud forest.
It rained a lot.
It did
Felt
rain
like
a lot. It
rainforest.
rained a lot. Yes.
Yeah, you can also get a phone with dual SIMs. You can do eSIMs. That's correct for the U.S. number.
So
go ahead.
I missed something.
Food and fuel costs rising in Ecuador. Fuel costs, yes. Some food, yes. But the prices were so low to begin with. It's like it's gone up, but as Americans, we still think things are cheap. Like broccoli may have gone from 50 cents to 75 cents, where in the US it was already $3 for a head of broccoli. So it's gone up some, and I'm sure it affects the lower income people quite a bit.
Yeah,
and we feel bad about that, but it doesn't really affect us because we still earn our income from the United States.
But it's still, prices in general have not gone up nearly as much as they have in other countries.
Inflation here is 2.89%.
We're very lucky.
Yeah, the highest it's been in years.
But still nothing.
But still nothing compared
so many other countries out there. All right, JP.
Yeah, I know. We got to wrap this up.
We got to wrap it up, guys. Sorry.
So let me put one more time. So today only, we should promote our e-course. I worked really hard on it.
Yes, I know.
We both did. We both worked really hard on it. But yeah, for today only, you get 20% off of our Ecuador Expat Fast Track e-course. It's every step from A to Z. Tons of information.
It is. And yes, you can find delicious organic vegetables here.
Oh, yeah.
And they are delicious and amazing.
Oh, they're so amazing. The green beans are sweet. Everything is sweet.
Oh, my
They
gosh.
just taste amazing. All right, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up. Daisy wants out and she wants to go on her walk.
Yes. Thank you all. This just flew by.
I know. I can't believe how fast it went. Hour and 40 minutes is so fast.
It was really fun.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. And we enjoy talking with all of you and answering questions.
Yes, we sure do. This was great.
Yep.
So we have to do this again soon, JP.
I know. We got to do this more often.
We will.
All right, guys.
All right.
Ciao.
Ciao. Oh, I got